peticiones de apoyo.
Si tomáis asiento, empezaríamos las jornadas de hoy.
Let's continue. I would like to introduce you to the speakers of this panel, and I would like to present the topics their presentations are going to address. If you have questions about the presentations, please keep them for the end of the session. Basically, because two presentations are closely related, and it wouldn't make much sense to interrupt the speakers or interrupt the session with questions which may be answered by both speakers. Let me give the floor to Javier Pietra Cabanes. He is the substitute of Pedro Cabanes. He's a civil engineer, and he's currently responsible for the maintenance service of the road system of Valencia. He's going to present the road platform for the region of Valencia. Good afternoon. As Carmen said, my name is Javier Piedra. I work for the maintenance and conservation service of roads of Valencia. I'm ever so proud, ever so pleased to be here in front of all of you in the International gvSIG conference, which is not something I do on a daily basis. And I'm here to talk about the platform for the comprehensive management of roads in the Valencian area. So I'm a bit nervous. And I actually changed the title of my presentation. I'm going to talk about the conservation and operation of the roads that make up the provincial network of Valencia. But I'm not trying to sell a bestseller here, a book by me. Cesar, in actual fact, will give you the details of a tool that we are developing to promote maintenance and servicing of roads in Valencia. But it is a tool, not an end in itself, but its purpose is to accurately maintain the roads that make up the provincial network. So very quickly, what is all this about? Right, first of all, what is the road network of the Valencia area? It is a network known as the local road network of the Valencia region, one which you will easily recognize because they are particular roads in the region. Those in the province of Valencia are managed by the council, by the department I work for. And the very purposes of roads is to ensure access to remote areas in the region by having connections with other major roads and motorways. That's the very basic goal. But we do have a very large road network covering 1,800 kilometers, which is more than 50% of all roads in the province of Valencia. It is a highly dispersed and heterogeneous network. It is heterogeneous because the roads are used by different users. Let me show you a few photographs. In the network, we have urban roads, in other words, roads that cross different towns and villages, or we have mountain roads with snow, as you can see, historical bridges, high loading capacity networks and motorways, roundabouts, poorly conditioned roads, as you can see, but that's not our goal. Obviously, we want to have direct actions on the roads to maintain them and have them in proper condition. In actual fact, that photograph is outdated. We also have newly built bridges, tunnels, to tier level roads, bike lanes, etc. So we have lots and lots of types of roads and types of users. All this causes us to find trouble and difficulty in managing the road network. So a step further was taken. How can we better organize the road network in Valencia? Well, there are different departments involved. As you can see, the Directorate General for Territorial Aspects and Traffic, which is responsible for the supervision and management of a number of services, including expropriation of land, which means finding new land for new roads designed by the Project and Infrastructure Department. And we also have a cross-cutting service which sees to it that all these infrastructures are safe. And ultimately, we have another department, the Conservation or Maintenance and Exploitation Department, for which I work. It has two differentiated areas. On the one hand, it aims to preserve roads in the best possible conditions for users to drive in a safe way. This includes signaling, signage, proper maintenance measures, and it means drivers and users can drive over these roads at any time, under any condition. If it snowed yesterday, snow needs to be removed. If stones fell over, they need to be removed, etc. As regards exploitation, exploitations is responsible for the relationship between the road and its physical environment. It has implications with adjoining areas, business activities along the road, etc. Let's move on. I just showed you the road network. Now let me focus on the conservation and exploitation service. This department has a geographical component. The province split into different demarcations or areas. As you can see, these areas have a number of roads which are geographically close, and we try to ensure homogeneity to make management simpler. You can see major roads, one along the coast, which crosses through different demarcations and areas near the city of Valencia. These roads take a lot of traffic. They are heavy roads. While if we go to the hinterland, we see roads that go through the mountains or mountain ranges. You may think that there's lots of sea and sun in Valencia, but the hinterland is characterized by a lot of mountains with lots of snow, mountain ranges such as those in Requena, Buñol, Utiel. So our geography is very complex, and to make it simpler, we split it into different areas. Now, let's go to a particular area on the map. There are two branches here, a red one and a blue one. There are interactions between the public and private world. The red line, the red branch, is the private sector. The blue line, the blue branch, is the public sector. And it involves different people and stakeholders who have to work together, hand in hand. This is the organization chart, actually. The supervisor on the left-hand side is responsible for road inspections. It has a team of 2 people who actually go on site and check the state, the condition of the road. What does the private sector do? The private sector is responsible for executing the project, for building the road, for maintaining the road. So as you can see, there are many stakeholders, many parties. Now, how much money has the private sector got for conservation and maintenance work? You can see the evolution of budgets for road conditioning, 9 million euros per year this year. But if you bear in mind how wide the network is, it is a very tight budget. I'm about to finish, but to summarize things up a little bit, let me get these 3 basic concepts through to you. Right, our road network is very large and very heterogeneous. It is really scattered around the region. Number two, there are many stakeholders involved. Some of them come from the private sector, some of them come from the public sector. Investment is high by the department, though it is insufficient or very tight for such a wide network. And finally, society is more and more demanding. It is not enough to have relatively good roads. People want better roads all the time. So we can conclude that it is absolutely essential to optimize the means, the resources to fulfill our goals in an effective way and with the required quality standards. And there are consequences too. Unavoidably, we need to rely on computer tools for us to handle the process in an effective way. Besides, our roads are in a particular geographic context. Therefore, the management tool needs to rely on a geographic information system. I would like to give the floor to César. He's going to describe the application which will supervise this process, which I just explained very, very quickly. Thank you.